I remember being 8 years old, coming home from the pool one day, trying to scrub off my tan, as you would with dirt. I knew that fair was better, turmeric makes your skin lighter, swimming happens close to sunset, don't play outside for too long, and although most people want to be golden brown, they don't want to be my brown. I don't think I ever innately classified fairness as a priority for me, but my environment was trying to convince me of otherwise. A quick Google search will show you that beautiful and fair go hand in hand. It's because the inclusive, all skin tones are beautiful rhetoric doesn't quite match the reality of skin tone politics. Consider Hollywood, for example. Oftentimes, Hollywood directors are criticized for not portraying diversity. And when Hollywood directors do show characters of diverse backgrounds, they shamelessly opt for light-skinned actors. Think of Laurence Olivier, a white actor who was nominated for an Oscar for his role as Othello, a Moor. Or Christian Bale, another white actor who played Moses of Middle Eastern descent. Or even blue-eyed white actress Emma Stone, who played Allison in Aloha, who was supposed to be a quarter Chinese and a quarter Hawaiian. Stone is neither of those two things. And when a dark-skinned individual is recognized in the public sphere, they're whitewashed. Think Rihanna on the cover of Vogue, or Kerry Washington on the cover of Inside Magazine, or Halle Berry on the cover of Harper's Bazaar. But most shockingly, when a dark-skinned individual is criticized, they aren't criticized for who they are, or for the quality of the work that they do, but rather for the shade of their skin. In the 2014 Miss America pageant, when Indian-American Veena Davaluri won the title, there was almost shocking levels of criticism. People claimed that had the contest taken place in India, she would have never won, simply because she was too dark-skinned. The differential treatment of people based on skin color is nuanced, perhaps even subtle, but no less damaging. Villanova researchers studied over 12,000 cases of women imprisoned in North Carolina and found that light-skinned individuals received more lenient sentences and served less jail time than their darker-skinned counterparts. Moreover, a University of Georgia study shows that when applying for jobs, light-skinned African-American males have a distinct advantage over dark-skinned African-American males. A light-skinned African-American male with just a bachelor's degree and typical work experience will be preferred over a dark-skinned African-American male with an MBA and previous managerial positions. This is simply because employers believe that the light-skinned individual has a higher capacity and that they appear less menacing than the dark-skinned individual. Indian matrimonial ads are nothing if not a study of the colorism and the prejudice that exists in the Indian middle class. 90 out of 100 ads will state fair, very fair, or extremely fair skin as a prerequisite for a woman to be considered as beautiful. Let's read one out. Indian parents invite alliance for handsome, athletic, extremely fair son, 31 years old, 6 feet 1 inches, completed bachelor's degree in Virginia Tech, master's degree at Carnegie Mellon University in computer science, joining reputed software company in Washington, D.C. And this 31-year-old, extremely fair and handsome boy is looking for a cultured, beautiful, slim, fair, educated girl, cast no bar. Respond with detail and photo via email. So let's get this straight. Caste is no bar, but apparently fairness is. And it is very unlikely that fair here refers to the archaic meaning of beautiful, considering beautiful was already mentioned once. So basically, if you're dark-skinned, you're more likely to serve a longer prison sentence, you're less likely to find a job, and you're going to have to meet some grossly unfair checkboxes when trying to find love. So what does an unemployed, convicted felon, who is also single and dark-skinned, do to boost their self-esteem? Should they change the color of their skin? Should they change the color of their skin simply because society believes that only fair is lovely? Cue the fairness cream industry. The fairness cream industry promotes the belief that in order to be successful and beautiful, you must be fair, and guarantees it with their multivitamin creams that provide double action, whatever that means, which will leave you fairer and as a result successful, beautiful, and employed in just 6 weeks. Just recently, I was watching this advertisement of these 3 girls at a college, and they're stopped by their professor who asks them, "What are your aspirations in life?" The dark-skinned girl smiles and says, "Well, ma'am, I want to be a professor just like you." To this, the professor replies, "You do understand that there is an interview process involved." The dark-skinned girl says, "Yes, ma'am, I know, and I'm completely prepared for it." We then see her go into her room and caress her bottle of Fair & Lovely, because apparently, fairness is a checkbox when going for interviews. The logic of this advertisement and those like it is that brands like Fair & Lovely aren't necessarily perpetuating negative body image for dark-skinned individuals. Rather, they're helping them solve their insecurities. But why should a dark-skinned individual be insecure to begin with? What do they have to be insecure about? You cannot avoid the fairness cream industry. In Asia, a London-based market research firm called Sinovate reported that 4 out of 10 women in Taiwan, Philippines, Malaysia, Hong Kong, and Thailand use fairness creams. When did this infatuation with fairness begin? In 1978, Unilever launched Fair & Lovely, which subsequently spawned whitening face cleansers, showering gels, and hear this, the most shocking of them all, vaginal washes, which claim to lighten the surrounding skin. Fair & Lovely and the fairness cream industry in general is huge. Fair & Lovely by itself owns 50% market share in India alone, and the market in India is worth around $450 million. BBC once reported that in South Asia, there were more bottles of Fair & Lovely being sold than bottles of Coca-Cola. Even Bollywood plays into this cultural fetish. Despite the fact that the majority of Indians are dark-skinned, majority of Bollywood actors and actresses are light-skinned. Some even go through skin whitening treatments to better appeal to Indian audiences. Consider actress Katrina Kaif for Olay's Natural White, or Deepika Padukone for Neutrogena's Fine Fairness Serum, or Sonam Kapoor for L'Oreal's White Perfect, or Priti Zinta for Fem's Herbal Bleach Cream. And the most disconcerting of them all, Shah Rukh Khan, fair and handsome. It's shocking because not only does Shah Rukh Khan have a domestic audience in India, but also an international audience. Why is this important? Consider the fact that 4 billion tickets are sold to Bollywood movies each year, versus 3 billion for Hollywood. 2 billion unique individuals will watch Bollywood films in theaters this year. That's 2 billion people being told that fairness should be an ambition. The cosmetics industry has traditionally relied on creating a confidence gap. They will try to convince their consumers that they are incomplete without a particular product, or that if they consume a specific product, their insecurities will vanish. Pantene has recently used this confidence gap. Pantene has tried to convince its consumers, specifically women, that the source of their woes isn't workplace inequality or crappy partners who don't do their fair share, but actually women themselves and their own lackluster hair. If only women had nicer, softer hair, life would be a breeze. So essentially, women are self-sabotaging at work, love, and life. Because if they do face issues in life, it's because they aren't taking care of their hair. And they could easily do so by buying a bottle of Pantene. The fairness cream industry relies on society's insistence that in order to be beautiful and successful, you must be fair. But the problem is that unlike makeup or fake tan, fairness creams are based on a system of racial hierarchy, which fuels intolerance and causes serious social harm. And it also amplifies the imperfections one sees in themselves. And it might prompt an individual to use the product in more than one place on their body, thus leading to the climax of the self-despisal. And it's a no-brainer that fairness cream serves as the residue left over from centuries of colonialism, from India to Japan to Thailand to Korea. And at first glance, this might seem like the Western affliction to tanorexia. But no one's ever been told that because of their dark skin, they were going to serve a longer prison sentence, or that they'd find difficulty when trying to look for a job, or that they wouldn't be able to find love simply because they were too tan. Dr. Bob Shergill, a trustee at the British Skin Foundation and a consultant dermatologist, claims that melanin is produced by melanocytes to protect the DNA of our skin from sun damage. Excessively reducing this concentration of melanin may increase our risk of skin cancers. People are literally risking their physical health to pursue a racist ideals of beauty. Fairness creams have serious physical and psychological effects. So, young boys and girls worldwide suffer from the hate that the fairness cream industry fuels, and their professional and personal success is hindered because of the fairness cream industry. So what's our next step? Well, it's not all bad news. Countries like Ivory Coast and South Africa have recently banned fairness creams, claiming that they have a high incidence of side effects, including skin cancer. Vogue India's October issue celebrates beauty in diversity and shows 6 different models from Maldives, India, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and Nepal. And most importantly, as colonialism becomes a distant memory, and as racist ideas take a backseat to ideals of inclusivity and equality, the millennial generation of today refuses to accept colorism as today's reality. Pax Jones, a student of the University of Texas, recently launched a photo campaign called Unfair and Lovely, which prompted thousands of women worldwide to share their photos celebrating their dark skin. The racist social mechanisms which pushed the 8-year-old me to try and erase her skin color are at work today. But in today's age of globalization, we must celebrate diversity. We must celebrate dark skin, and we must not embark upon damaging pursuits of artificial beauty. Because at the end of the day, beauty really does come from the inside. And honestly, the 8-year-old me would have genuinely and sincerely appreciated such reassurance. Thank you.